Hello. Hello.
Oh, sorry. Hi. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Can you explain how does it work?
Absolutely. So they're called Cubelets. They're a robot construction kit for kids. Each of them has a little computer inside. They're each a little robot, but by themselves they only do one thing. So to do interesting things, they have to work together as a team. This one's job is to provide power. It has some little rechargeable batteries in there. All the clear blocks do some kind of action. So this one has some lights that'll go up like a bar graph. This one has a flashlight. This one has some wheels that'll spin around on a motor. And then all the black blocks are some kind of sensor. So this one is a distance sensor, and this one's a brightness sensor. You put them together just magnetically. There's no wrong way to put them together. And then just lost my keys. And then maybe a flashlight. Put those together, and now let's change that out. This is a distance sensor. So as my hand gets close to the distance sensor, it's going to tell its neighbors that something's getting close, and the light lights up correspondingly. You can swap that out for a drive block with the wheels. And now, without knowing anything about programming or electronics or anything, I've made a robot that can run away from my hand. But you can do more complex things too. There's these, all the colored blocks do some kind of math or logic function. This one's really simple. It's called a blocker. And what it'll do is it'll share the power among all the robots, but it prevents them from talking to each other. So we'll just kind of reconfigure this a little bit and then add another drive block, and we'll make sure they're pointed in the same direction, and another distance sensor. And now, again, you don't need to know anything about programming. Now I've got a robot that can't, there's little magnets in the table, sorry, that can drive around the table. If I tried to program this in Lego or with an Arduino, it'd be a lot of code, it'd be really hard.
This one separates them both.
Right, right. So now
they are working independently.
Exactly. Two robots all in one. There's other cubes too, so this one has a face that can spin with a motor, so you can make like a little lighthouse or a siren or whatever. There's this inverse block is kind of cool. So if we...
And these all, except the blue one, no one else has its own power?
Right. This is the only one with batteries. So they all share the same power source.
And how to recharge the battery?
There are just those chargers right there, two little batteries clip in there. It takes like 45 minutes to charge, and it'll run for 4.5, 5 hours. So they last.
It depends on the weight, how much weight you have.
Exactly. Yeah. So the more cubes you have, the faster it'll die. We've never seen a kit last less than, say, 3 hours or so. And today we've been charging the battery. We've been changing the batteries only a couple of times, and we've been running really hard all day.
So, what all blocks are included in one kit?
So we sell two different kits. We sell a starter kit that has 6 blocks, and those 6 are... distance. So that's a battery block with the batteries already in it, the brightness sensor, the light sensor, flashlight, the distance cublet, drive block, and then this one's a passive block, so it will allow you to change the shape of your robot without changing its behavior. So you can have something that like leans over a table to protect the edge or things like that. They can all be reprogrammed also. We have a Bluetooth block that allows you to reprogram them in the C language, so it's great for high school students. Some middle schoolers can dive into that too. It depends on how involved they are with that. And that opens up all kinds of other possibilities. One of my favorite things I've seen is a kid that I led a programming workshop a couple weeks ago. Kid took two drive blocks and a passive like that, put a roll of paper towels on top of it, use the distance sensor so he could wave his hand in front of the distance sensor, turn the motors on for 3 seconds so it would dispense 1 towel, and then turn it off. And I thought that was a really creative way of kind of interfacing Cubelets with something in the real world. I thought that was really awesome.